Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well as we get into standard double upload day. Hope all of you are going to enjoy this. Well, we've got big news. Firstly, later on will be the second video, which is the preview for Brentford versus Chelsea. So make sure you guys are here and please be warned in advance. The watch-alongs are no longer here. You're going to get upgraded, next level watch-along experiences now. The watch-alongs are on Shootout. So head into the description, make sure you're subbed to Shootout, and you are going to get not only me, but me and George Benson, right, doing a watch-along for Brentford-Chelsea together. That's going to be going forward all Chelsea games and some non-Chelsea games where there's big games like the Manchester Derby. We will also be doing a watch-along on Shootout. And the Champions League and whatnot by Munich. But the Chelsea games are going to be very special, and you'll know why when you tune in tomorrow on Shootout to catch the watch along for Brentford versus Chelsea. So make sure you're there and join us. Now, we signed someone. Yeah. The window's shut, isn't it? Yeah, the window's shut, but we signed someone. Well, let's get into it. We got a striker, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. Chelsea Football Club has agreed a deal to sign striker Emanuel Emegha, with the Dutchman officially joining in 2026. There he is, with the nice blue World Club shirt with the badge on it, of course, because that's how we run. World champions. But it's like it was quite predictable. I said this on here not long ago in terms of the players that I said to look out for that are going to be getting a pathway into the Chelsea team. This is one of them. So let's get into some of the detail. What's happened? What's gone down? Well, here's Fabrizio to start off proceedings. Exclusive. Chelsea will sign Emmanuel Emegha in 2026. Pre-agreement done. Here we go. Chelsea anticipate Champions League and Premier League clubs keen on Emegha as he wanted to stay at Strasbourg, lead them in Europe, and then join Chelsea on a 7-year contract from 2026. So 1 season at Strasbourg, which you're seeing right now, and then over to Chelsea. Ben Jacobs says, breaking, Chelsea have pre-agreed a deal to sign Strasbourg striker Emmanuel Emegha in summer 2026. Understand Emegha is actually signed in spring after turning down the chance to join multiple Champions League clubs, including some in the Premier League. Emegha decided to stay for a 3rd year at Strasbourg and play in Europe this season before joining Chelsea. Chelsea have been tracking Emegha for a long time and believe he will be ready for the step up to the Premier League next season. Emegha has agreed a 7-year contract, as Fabrizio Romano called. So, Emegha, I'm not surprised. Overall, I'm not surprised. It's like I said, there's players that we've got to look out for. The ones that are on loan, specifically at Strasbourg, but the ones that are playing there anyway. Mike Penders is going to be the next one, 100%. Right? We've got Mamadou Sarr over there. That's another one. And players that are going to go down the same route as Andre Santos did. Andre Santos, you could say, was the first, right? The first to go to Strasbourg, spend the season, develop, get to Chelsea, and actually make his way into the squad. Emegha is, I'm not surprised, the first guy this season to be basically agreed to join next season. And why? Because the striker position needs some attention. And it goes into more clarity as to why we didn't go in the market and buy a striker. We got Mark Gu back because we can. And we have an idea on who we're going to bring in next season, which is Emegha. Now, who's he replacing? Here's Simon Johnson. Chelsea feel Emegha's potential is greater than Jackson's, and they plan to sell Jackson in 2026 regardless of what happens at Bayern Munich. Now, Jackson did get unveiled to the press earlier today, if I'm not mistaken, by Bayern Munich, and he did say, when he was asked about the 40-game clause and all that, he said, look, I'm here to score goals. He gave a nice PR response, to be fair. I'm here to score goals and help the team, and I can play as a striker, I can play as a second striker, but all I want to do is help the team and the coach, and that's it. Things you expect to hear, right? And Chelsea have made a decision here that Emegha and how far he can go is larger and bigger than how far Jackson can go. And the decision has been made to sell Jackson, even if he does come back after the Bayern Munich loan, if Bayern Munich don't trigger the obligation. then he still will be sold. And this is where I've been leading to the last couple of days. If you remember when I was speaking about Jackson, I did give you my opinion on it. And I said, look, it's very unlikely now that he does stay at Bayern Munich. But when he does come back from Bayern Munich, Chelsea will sell him. Even if it's for less money than what he would have gone for this season. But on the books, Chelsea will be making similar profit because he would have spent a year away. And that will be 1 year off the contract, which means book value, Chelsea will be in profit regardless. But that's what I anticipate. I said that 2 days ago. I anticipate Chelsea to sell, even if it's going to be for less. Let's say we sell him for 50, right? But on the books, that's still really good. And then we get someone else in. But that someone else was always going to be Emegha that's going to join as the third striker. We now have João Pedro, Liam Delap, and Emegha. Now, Marc Guéhi has to prove himself now. There's pressure on Marc Guéhi because some would argue that there's two strikers, technically, Delap and Emegha. And João Pedro isn't a 9. He can play up top, but he's not a 9. He's someone that can play basically as a hybrid. He can play as a 9, he can play as a second striker, he can play as a 10, he can play off the left. He is someone that is very, very flexible, right? Very versatile. But in talking strikers, Delap, number 9. Emegha, number 9. Marc Guéhi, number 9. So Marc Guéhi, my friend, you need to set an impression. If not, it could get very difficult for you, brother. It could. It could. Now, like I've said before, I like Marc Guéhi so far. I still think he's quite raw. Now, we've brought him back. We've got no chance but to use him from time to time. I hope he impresses because the way that I look at Marc Guéhi, I think he has what it takes to impress. What you want in a striker, I think he's got. Similarly, Emegha is the same. And this is why I'm saying for Marc Guéhi, you have to prove yourself because the situation, it might get overcrowded for you, brother. It might get overcrowded unless you set the bar really high. And even then, to be honest, Chelsea could be tempted to, based on the UEFA settlement, be tempted in future windows to go, you know what, Marc Guéhi, maybe he's increasing value. Maybe we'll sell him. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. But Chelsea are covered because Emegha is making his way in. So let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what's going to happen. There's no doubt that we can't just undermine Marc Guéhi, especially coming out of La Masia, coming out of Barca. We've seen what he's done briefly. Raw talent, has an instinct, which is, I feel, is so important in a striker. He just needs to develop in terms of speed, pace, of thinking, the Premier League, the quick tempo. Physically, he needs to adjust on those sort of things. He needs to grow on those. Emegha's playing at Strasbourg, getting regular football, and we will see his development throughout the season. So we'll keep eyes on Strasbourg. Let's see what happens there. But Emegha is making his way to Chelsea in 2026, and he will be replacing Nicholas Jackson permanently. So let me know your thoughts down below on what you think on Emegha. That's that. Now, what happened in the transfer window? You're probably thinking, what do you mean? We know what happened. No. There were players that we thought we were going to get. It didn't happen. Well, why? What happened? Well, now we get the revelation from The Athletic on Kudus and why he didn't join Chelsea in the end. Here it is. Chelsea agreed personal terms with Kudus and planned to sign him early in the window so he could join the side ahead of the FIFA Club World Cup. Chelsea offered £40 million plus Dewsbury Hall in the swap deal, but the offer was rejected. Wow. Now, there's two things here, right? Actually, let me show you this as well, because this has to be. Tottenham wanted assurances from Kudus that he was keen to join because they feared Chelsea would attempt to hijack the deal. This was basically a Simon saga that didn't go public as much. Fair play to Tottenham. You learned your lesson, kind of, didn't you? You knew that the possibility of Chelsea hijacking was there. And you were wary, you were watching your rearview mirror. I have to say fair play. Maybe you did learn your lesson from the whole Willian saga. Because, look, with the whole Xavi Simons thing, we were here going, you know what, if we want to take this, he's on a plate, we can easily go and hijack this. We chose not to. We chose not to. Now, to say that Tottenham were unaware, seems like they were aware, so good. You learned. I'm not happy to hear it, but I'm happy to hear it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not happy to hear it because I kind of want you to turn a blind eye, but I am happy to hear it because you learned your lesson, so fair play. But Kudus, Chelsea did actually put in a bid. Chelsea actually did offer, well, not an official bid maybe, but we did actually offer 40 million on Dewsbury Hall, and West Ham said no. Why? How did you turn that down? You could have ended up with Dewsbury Hall and a little bit of cash. Why? Now, there's 2 points here. There's that to West Ham, but there's also the other one. You know? Kudus, after joining Tottenham, saying it was only Tottenham. It wasn't, was it? Come on. Like, we knew this. We knew this time ago, but now it's actually out properly. Come on. It wasn't. It wasn't. You had personal terms agreed with Chelsea long before Tottenham even thought about entering a conversation. This is it. What I don't get is, so Chelsea moved for Kudus. We got turned down. We moved away. Done. Cool. Then we agreed personal terms with Xavi Simons, but we didn't pursue for Xavi Simons. Why? I still don't understand that whole saga. I still don't get it. Why? You know, we could have got Xavi Simons. We didn't. Then we end up with Buonanotte on loan. Why? That's one thing that has actually still kept me bamboozled. Is it because of the finances? Is it, I mean, what? Okay, but if that's the case, what would have happened if the bid for Kudus was accepted then? Or what would have happened then? We would have overspent, or we wouldn't have got Garnacho. Like, what would have happened then? Because there's people that say, you know what, we could have maybe just given up on either Garnacho or Gittins. And you do say mathematically, yes, that's true. But what would have happened then? Because they were targets. We wanted them regardless. So, was there money to spend? So if there was money to spend, why didn't we get Xavi Simons? I don't understand. Like, this whole saga for me is still a puzzle. Still a puzzle. So maybe we'll find out more down the line in regards to all of this. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll see down the line even more in regards to Fermin Lopez as well. That was another one. Why would we even show interest if we don't have the money? It means we do have the money. But if we did, why didn't we go for Xavi Simons? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand, right? I don't understand. And this adds more fire to it, or more fuel to the fire, because we're basically seeing that Chelsea did actually put money up and a player to try and buy Kudus. We actually did want to buy the player. So that's even more of a reason to go, why didn't we actually go in for Simons or Lopez when we wanted to afterwards? And I don't know. I don't know. That one is a baffling one. So anyway, let's see how this is all going to unravel with time. Maybe we'll get answers. But Kudus, yeah, Chelsea actually did want Kudus properly. Man. What could have been? Because I think Kudus would have been a spectacular sign. I remember when we were linked with him, and I did say, I was like, I like Kudus a lot. I would take Kudus, absolutely. And then it just fizzled. Well, turns out we got rejected. So that's that. Let me know your thoughts on that one. To end, I've got a bit of news from our feeder club, Brighton. Brighton technical director David Weir has left the club with immediate effect. You know what this means? Yeah, welcome to Chelsea, David. We got ourselves a new director, guys. Now, I have to make a point. You see, because this is why I'm saying, okay, look, people, use your brains. Yeah, use your brains. And this is where I have to call out. When I see, at least for a long period of time, people that were being just ultra positive for the sake of it without actually being realistic, now we are also seeing the opposite. I made a joke on X, yeah, about this. And I said, welcome to Chelsea, mate. I actually had people, right, that came in and were like, oh, the club's finished. What are we doing? Oh, Younes, how are you back in this? Look at this. I'm like, it's not true. Brother, it's a joke. I made a joke. I didn't say that welcome to Chelsea because he's actually joined. He's not joined. This is... I have to call this out too. Please, people, don't just trigger at anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. Yeah. When I say you have to be fair, but be fair on both ends. Don't go one-sided and think, oh yeah, I'm going to give this one a little bit of leverage, but that one I'm going to call out completely. No, just call it as it is and be realistic. If people have a problem with still the owners, the directors and whatnot, do it realistically. You know what I mean? And this is why I feel like, yeah, criticism can be given when it's given, but praise can be given when it's deserved. And that's what I felt I've done. But when I give a joke, and people actually reply to me going, "Oh, what? That's a joke. How has this happened?" I'm like, so you've not even gone to even check. Like, because I made a clear joke. Unbelievable. I have to just mention that. Because there's being realistic, and then there's actually being properly toxic. Don't go there. Because then it becomes about agendas. It doesn't actually become about what you want for the football club. Realistically, it becomes about what you want deep down. That's not fair. So let's see what happens. But look, I have to be honest. Yeah, this guy's left Brighton. Who knows? I have to put the possibility on the table here. It is also a possibility. It could happen in the future. Who knows? Maybe one day we wake up and Winstanley's gone, you know what? I'm not feeling it anymore. And then we go for David Weir. Because he was at Brighton. Who knows? It's a possibility. But anyway, we'll see down the line if this is going to happen. It would be so funny if this actually happened and this clip exists. I mean, that would be mental, but we'll see anyway. They give that some time. It's a hypothetical. Just for anyone that's going to take it literally, it's a hypothetical. It's not true. It doesn't exist yet. So chill. But Brighton have lost their director. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. I will catch all of you later tonight for video number 2. Be on Shootout as well. By the way, I have to say a massive thank you for the feedback and the reception that our first video done yesterday was absolutely incredible. And everyone that was flooding in and just giving praise, and they loved what they saw. It seemed like you all loved the special intro that we filmed. I told you we had things cooking. It's only just starting. There's so much more in the pipeline. It's ridiculous. So make sure you guys are subbed. Link in the description. Watch-alongs will be on there. So make sure you're there for that. And you can join us from a very special way of doing watch-alongs. So make sure you're there to see how. And I'll catch all of you later here for video number 2. Have a good one, people. Subscribe, notification bell. See you later. Take care and peace.